Hey Ambit family, this is David Nunez. I'm an executive consultant from McAllen, Texas, and I want to go ahead and make this video to do a fast start training to help you really take advantage of the next 90 days in your business. So for those of you that are brand new in Ambit and are taking a look at this for the first time, welcome to the team. For those of you that have been in the business already for a while, well, I just want to congratulate you for still being here and taking your business very seriously and moving forward. So what I want to share with you is a fast start training. Now, this training was actually developed by one of our $1 million earners in the business. He's a national consultant, so he's at the top of our compensation plan. And he developed this, and this is what really helped him be in the top 10 as far as income earners is concerned every single year. So basically, it talks about a 90-day plan of strategy of success. If you see here, it says presenting the opportunity. Now, let's go down here to this purple line. It says at the beginning of your business, your only job is to invite. Keep in mind that you're not in the energy business. We're not here. We're not selling energy. We're not selling anything. Right now, your only job is to invite people to take a look at the opportunity. So if you learn how to become a master inviter, you're going to have a lot of success. You never have to learn how to present. You don't ever have to be, if you don't like speaking in front of people, you don't ever have to worry about being in front of people and speaking. All we do is push play and show the video. And for you just to be a master inviter, because our goal is to get as many people in front of the opportunity as possible. So how are the ways that we're going to show the business? If you see up here, right here in this slide, I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. It says home presentations, one-on-one presentations, hotel meetings, business, lunch or dinner presentations, websites presentations, or the DVD. Now I know the DVDs are a little outdated. We really don't use the DVDs anymore, but let's go ahead and focus on the first few ways to show the business, which home presentations. How do you do one? Well, it's very simple. Actually, they're very duplicatable. You just open up your home and just set up a date to have some friends over to take a look at the opportunity. And all you need to do is have that 8-minute video ready. Most people have smart TVs now and smartphones, so you can always link your phone to your TV, so that way your friends can take a look at the business presentation. You can also use a DVD if you need to with a DVD player, so that way your guests can see the video. Now, it's very important that when you do these home presentations and you're inviting people over to your home, it's very important that you let them know why they're coming over to your home. You never want to do a bait and switch. You never want to do a big barbecue and say, hey, you know what, we're going to have a big barbecue, we're going to have a party. And as soon as people are over, you're going to say, oh, by the way, let me show you my business. That's a big no-no. You never want to do that. Basically, when you invite someone, just be straightforward with them. You know, let's just say you're having a business presentation tomorrow at 7:30. You know, you call your friend Bob. Hey, Bob, how are you? Great. What are you doing tomorrow, Friday at 7:30 p.m.? Bob says nothing. Fantastic. I want to invite you over because I just got started in a part-time business and we're going to have an overview, and I want to invite all of my closest friends to come and take a look. The time we can meet is at 7:30. It's here at my place. I'm going to go ahead and have refreshments. You know, and you want to make sure you keep it very duplicatable. You don't want to go all out and have, you know, botanas and you know, lasagna and spaghetti. You want to keep it very duplicatable and have maybe chips and salsa or coffee and cookies, because when people come and take a look at the business, they're going to see the business and they're going to make a judgment from the very time they walk in those doors. They're going to make a judgment of if this business is for them or not, if they're going to be able to do what you do. So remember, it doesn't matter what works. What matters is what duplicates. Now, the next one is one-on-one presentations. This, to me, is my favorite. Basically, I just get together with people, and you can download the Chris Atkinson 8-minute video, and you just go on team526.biz, and you can download the 8-minute video presentation and download it right to your phone, and it's actually going to play it in form of a video. So what I do is I put my phone on airplane mode, so that way I don't get any interruptions during the presentation, and I just push play.
I'm a national consultant with Ambit.
So the video is playing, and the moment that the video starts playing, I just stay quiet. Right? Goes through the whole video, the whole compensation plan. Takes about 8 minutes, 8.5 minutes. So now what I do is, it's very important that when you sit down with somebody, you let them know why you're doing the business. For example, when I sit down with someone, I say, hey, thank you so much for taking time off your schedule to meet with me. Just to let you know, I got started in this business 8.5 years ago because I was in a tough situation financially. and emotionally as well and spiritually, because I had just lost my mother. I had just become a dad. So I was at a point where I really needed to make more money, and a friend of mine introduced me into this business. And let me tell you, it's really changed my life. It's really given me a lot of hope and helped me be able to overcome a lot of financial obstacles. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you this quick 8-minute video that it's going to explain things in a much simpler format, so that way you can understand it. And after the video is over, I want to introduce you to a special friend of mine that's going to be able to answer the questions for you, and I want you to hear what this business has done in their life. So what I do is I give them a little syllabus of what's going to happen, and I already set the 3-way call up front from the very beginning, and I let them know, hey, I'm going to be introducing you to someone before you leave, because it's very important that we do the 3-way, and I'm going to go over that a little bit later. But you're setting it up already in advance. So the one-on-ones, all I do, even though I'm an executive consultant in the business and I can explain the business forwards and backwards, I don't want to do that, because when I'm showing the business to somebody, you're going to have new people that are going to be thinking, hey, can I just do what this guy just did or what this gal just did? Am I going to be able to explain the business? And most of the time they're not going to be able to, and they're going to feel so overwhelmed. But if you just get together with your prospects, sit down and say, share your story, and make sure that it's not a 5-minute story or 10-minute. Make sure you just keep it 60 seconds, right? A minute and a half at the most. Share your story, your why you got started in the business, and then just push play on the video and have someone lined up ready to answer the phone calls. That promotes teamwork and it promotes duplication. So people, as a matter of fact, I've had a lot of people, when I've showed them the video, they've said, wow, so all you do with people is you just sit down and you just show them this video and I can put you on the phone to answer the questions? Yes, absolutely. And I've had a lot of people join me personally just because of the duplication, just how duplicatable it is. Now, hotel presentations, you may be watching this video right now and you may be thinking, hey, I don't have a hotel meeting in my city. My rule of thumb is if you have a meeting that's within 2 hours of your location, or 2 hours from where you live, I recommend that you invest in your business and you drive those 2 hours at least once a week, right? If you can plug into one weekly meeting, it's going to help you grow your business. So if you live in a place where you have a weekly meeting, well, you need to be there once a week at the very minimum, and make sure you invite guests. And even if your guests do not show up, and they end up canceling for whatever reason at the end, the meeting still needs you. So it's still important for you to be there at the business presentation, so that way you can support the presentation. And the more you're there, the more the information, you're going to be listening to the information, and the more it's going to become part of you, and it's going to become like clockwork. You're going to be able to be more confident about what you do, and you're going to be able to stay excited. And you're going to meet so many other people, and it's going to keep you accountable. So it's very important for you to be at the weekly presentations. If you have one in your own city, be sure to be there. If you don't have one in your city, make sure that, if it's within 2 hours away, make sure that you plug into those meetings. Also, Team 526, every Tuesday at 7:30 Central Time, we have business presentations that Chris Atkinson and the team from Houston does, and we go on Facebook Live. So you can always plug into those meetings as well. And if you have people that want to see it, make sure you have a watch party. Invite people over to your house and say, hey, you know what, we're going to watch this business presentation. And you can actually just, if you have a smartphone and a smart TV, you can just mirror it to the TV. So that way they can be able to watch the presentation live and be able to hear testimonials, because stories are very powerful in this business, and it's going to be helping you out tremendously. So these 3 ways that I just showed you are my favorite. In my pecking order, what I like to do is I like to focus on one-on-one presentations first, because we don't always have a weekly meeting here in McAllen. We have it once a week, so on Monday nights. So the rest of the nights, I want to make sure that I'm setting up appointments for coffee to be able to sit down with people and show them the opportunity. And I show them just the way I just talked about a few minutes ago. Then the second thing would be a hotel meeting. I want to make sure that I invite people on Mondays to the hotel meetings. And lastly, it would be the home presentations. I usually like to do maybe one home presentation a month, and I teach my team to do the same thing, because if you can have 30 team members, let's just say, doing one in-home presentation a month, well, you have an in-home presentation every single day. So you're able to plug into these in-home presentations, and you're able to create duplication. Now, if you're not able to plug into those meetings, because let's just say you have a team member in another state, or maybe that's 3 hours away, totally understand. But with the power of the internet that we have in Facebook, you can easily have them stream you in live, maybe video chat you in, so that way you can share your testimonial and also share your testimonial and also have answer any of their questions. You can also get your upline leader, your executive or senior consultant to be able to be on the video, and they can be able to share their testimonial over the video chat. And that serves for a very powerful presentation, because not only do they see the video, they also hear a story, and not only do they hear it over the phone, but they're actually seeing the person. And it's very powerful once you take out one of these, Success from Home magazine, and let them know, hey, I'm going to be putting you on the line with this man right here, Chris Atkinson. He's the number 10. He's the number 5 income earner in the business, and he's already made over $10 million in this business. So he knows what he's talking about, and I really want you to hear what this business has done in his life, right? Or you can also point at Debbie Atkinson. You know, she was a registered nurse working 2 full-time jobs, wanted to make an extra $600 just to be able to let go of one of her jobs. Well, lo and behold, this business has really changed her life, because not only was she able to leave one of her jobs, she was able to fire both of her bosses and totally buy her time back. And now she and her husband are members of the $10 million club, which means they've earned over $10 million in this business. So think about what an idea that they just wanted to join the business to make an extra $600 has turned into over $10 million in earnings. I mean, that's a powerful testimony to share with people, and that's going to be very intriguing. So lunch and business presentations, right? If you have one in your area, you have one at a Tony Roma's or, you know, wherever steakhouse that you guys do business presentations, make sure you plug in. And if you want to invite your guests, maybe this is what I use for maybe doctors or lawyers, you know, school teachers. You want to treat them out for lunch. You know, we pay for their lunch or their dinner, and we invite them, and in turn they do us the favor and take a look at the business. So I use this for that prospect. And of course, your websites are invaluable. This website that I actually just shared with you, the 8-minute video, create a YouTube channel. I uploaded the 8-minute video to my personal YouTube channel, and that's what I use. I just shoot that link to people, and they're able to watch the video in 8 minutes. I'm able to set up the 3-way call in advance and always have somebody else validate the opportunity. So remember, at the beginning of your business, your only job is to invite. And you're just going to invite people to take a look. That's it. We're not in the business of convincing. So it's very important for you to get that word out of your vocabulary, because a lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't know if I can convince this person. Or, David, can you help me convince this person to get started? And I always say no, because I'm not in the business of convincing anybody. Because if I have to convince somebody to do something to change their financial situation, then it's probably not something that they want. People have to want it for themselves, right? We have a saying that you're in business for yourself but not by yourself. You know, we want people that come into this business to really want to change something in their life. So our job is really to sift through people and show the business to as many people as possible, because the more you're showing the business, the more you're gonna get better results, because maybe your first 3 or 4 people might say no, right? But maybe the 5th or 6th person might say, yes, get me started. And who knows, maybe you might hear no for the next 10 people that you show the business to, right? But what's happening is you're having practice. You're practicing showing the business presentation. And that's what you want to do, because you have to practice to be able to be successful in this. You know, when I first got started, I wasn't very good at showing the business at all. I fumbled over my words all the time, and I just really wasn't all that great at presenting the opportunity. But the more I did it, the better I got. And it's very important to do that and always practicing it. So here's an example of an invitation. So our job is, of course, to build a relationship with people. We want to be able to, it's all about networking and relationship marketing. So here's an example. You know, after you talk to somebody and you're talking about family, health, job, you know, small talk, you ask them, let's just say we're talking to John. Hey, John, I'm calling because a friend of mine shared with me a project to earn extra income, and I believe that you and I can both benefit. This is why I want to invite you, so that you can learn the details of how it works. Now, the number one thing John's going to say, well, what is it? What's it about? Or how does it work? When they ask that, say, it's a program that has helped thousands of people succeed financially. It's very simple, but I would prefer that someone with experience explain everything to you. The place we can meet at is a Starbucks on such and such street. There you will obtain all the details on how this works and how you and I can both benefit. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Make it very, very simple. Another one of my favorite ones is, and I'm going to pull it up on my phone, when I'm trying to invite someone to take a look at the business, this is what I like to say when I'm inviting someone to take a look. One thing is, hey, just throwing it out there, but would you be open to a side project that does not interfere with what you're currently doing? It's very simple. And I actually have that saved on my text message, because sometimes when I'm talking to somebody and I want to make the first move or the first contact, that's what I use. Hey, just throwing it out there, but would you be open to a side project that does not interfere with what you're currently doing? A lot of the times you're going to hear yes. I've never had anybody say no to that, because a lot of the times people are saying, hey, yeah, I want to make more money, and if it doesn't interfere with what I'm currently doing, I'm all ears. Another example that just happened to me today, one of my friends who's actually been my customer for about 4 or 5 years now, she's always referring people to me. And today I asked her if she would be open to making more money if it didn't interfere with what she was doing. And she said, well, I work 10 to 12 hours a day. Would it interfere with me? It depends. And I said, awesome. I'm looking for people like that. I'm looking for people that are busy, because busy people get things done. So when she said that she works 10 hours a day and she was still open if it didn't interfere, I mean, that's music to my ears, and that's what we're looking for. So I told her, absolutely, may or may not be for you, but it's definitely worth a few minutes of your time to check it out. If I sent you an 8-minute video that describes the information in more details, would you watch it? Right? If I would you. So when you're sending it to them, you have to let them know up front. If I were to send you this information right now, would you watch it? And if they tell you, yes, I would watch it right now, then you send it to them. If they say, well, I'm at work, I won't be out of work till 5, I can watch it then, great. What time would be a good time for you to be settled down at home where I can have 10 minutes of your undivided attention? Oh, well, you can call me about 7:30. Great, I'll call you then. So at 7:30, you're already knowing that you're going to send them the video, so they can watch the video, and then you already have a 3-way call set up in advance. So you'll be able to call your upline leader or whoever's going to be able to help you and let them know, hey, I'm planning to show the business at 7:30. Would you be available at about 7:40, 7:45? And once you get that yes, go with that person and make sure you're ready. So once you send your prospect the video, your friend the video at 7:30, they watch it, 8.5 minutes later, it's over. You give them a call and you say, hey, did that make sense to you? Great. And if they say yes, great. Does that mean you're ready? You're ready to get started? Make sure you ask them that question. Are you ready to get started? Because a lot of the times people want to get started, but they just don't know how to ask to get started, if that makes sense. I've had people that have told me, well, I don't know. What do I need to do next? Well, let me sign you up. So make sure you ask them that question. Are you ready to get started? And once they say, yes, I'm ready, great. Just get onto your website, sign them up. If they say anything else like, well, I don't know if I have the time, or I don't have the money, or anything else that they say, really what it is a smoke screen. Because a lot of the times when people say they don't have the money, what I found is they really do. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they have the money. They just want to know, how fast can I make my money back? Right? How fast can I make my money back if I get started? But they just don't know how to ask that. So when that happens and they say, well, I don't have the money to get started, I say, great. Well, you know what? I know exactly how you feel, because I too didn't have the money to get started. When I first saw this business, it was $429. So trust me, I did not have the money to get started. But what I found is that through help and through teamwork, I was able to make that money back rather quickly. And that was at $429. Could you imagine how fast you can make your $75 back? And you kind of reduce it to ridiculous and make them say, wow, if you can make your money, your $429 back, I mean, how quickly can I make my $75 back, right? Of course, that's my story, because I started at $429. But when they say that, and they say, I'm not sure, I don't have the money, say, you know what, I totally understand. I actually know somebody that didn't have the money either when he first saw this business. But I want to introduce you to him. He's actually an executive consultant from McAllen, Texas. Him and his wife's story is actually featured inside the Success from Home magazine. So you can always, if you have this 2017 magazine, you can always point that out. This is David Nunez. He's from McAllen, Texas. He's an executive consultant. He too didn't have the money to get started. And I would like to introduce you to him so that way he can answer some of your questions. And I also want you to hear his story and what this business has done in his life and see how it's impacted him and his family's life. So let me see if he's available. So you pick up your phone, and if they're in front of you, do the 3-way call. If you're in a quiet place, you can just put it on speaker so both of you can hear. If you're in a louder place, just do the introduction, have the phone over to your prospect, and make sure that they're listening to it. Because what you want to do is you never want to say, hey, let's just say John's right here in front of you. You never want to say, hey, John, this is David. David, this is John. I mean, you want to make sure you edify the leader, and you'll also want to edify your prospect. So, for example, I'm doing the 3-way call to John. I'm doing the presentation for John, and let's just say I got Bob that's ready for the 3-way call. So I'm going to say, hey, John, this is my good friend Bob. He's an executive consultant in the business. He's grown a huge, massive organization, and this business has really transformed his life and his family's life for years to come. And I really want you to hear what this business has done in his life. He's won several awards, and this man is the man that can be able to answer those questions for you. And Bob, this is my good friend John. John and I go way back. We used to go to high school together. He's a great friend. I've always valued his opinion, and he did me the favor to take a look at the business. But however, he does have a few questions, and I want to be able just to link you guys up so you guys can share your story and maybe answer the questions that the video didn't get to answer. So Bob, this is John. John, this is Bob. And then from that moment on, I just stay quiet, and I don't interrupt. I don't say anything, because you never want to interrupt the leader, because that kills the whole credibility of the 3-way call. If you're doing an actual 3-way call where all 3 of you are on the phone and in different locations, you just put it on mute and just listen. You never want to put your phone on mute and walk away and continue cleaning or baking or cooking, whatever it is that you're doing, because the questions that John's going to be asking Bob, right, or John's going to be asking me if I'm doing the 3-way call, for example, you want to be able to listen and see how I'm going to answer those questions, or how Bob or whoever the 3-way call leader is. You want to make sure that you listen how he's going to answer those questions, because that's a training within itself. That's how I learned a lot, by doing a lot of 3-way calls. And I would listen to the questions they would ask, and I would listen to the response, and that's how I was learning. So it's very, very important that you do that. Planning and strategies, if you see it down here, right? Planning and strategies. As you can see, there's a calendar from Sunday through Saturday. That's a beautiful thing about this business, is that you can really adjust this business to your schedule. So all of you that are watching this video, some of you may be stay-at-home parents, or maybe you might work 20 hours a week, 40 hours a week. Some of you might work 60, 70, 80 hours a week like I used to do. This is a business that you can definitely fit into your schedule. It's just a matter of literally doing 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And what people ask a lot is, well, what do I do within those 30 minutes? Within those 30 minutes, you want to make sure that you're working your list of contacts, right? You want to make sure you're working your list of contacts, your list of friends, right? Make sure that you make them your friends. And you want to be inviting people to take a look at the opportunity, right? You want to be inviting people to take a look at the business, right? And some of them are going to tell you yes, that they'll have time. Some of them are going to tell you no. But if you can focus every single day for 30 minutes and just inviting a few people to take a look at the business, you're going to see that over time, you're going to create momentum. People are going to be joining the business. People's lives change, that they're going to be coming around and asking you, hey, are you still doing that ambient thing? I've been doing this for 8.5 years, and still to this day, I have people that are coming back around and they're saying, hey, are you still doing that business? I'm interested now. I want to really hear what you have to say, because I just lost my job, or I just got a pay cut in my at work, or I'm not spending enough time with my kids, so I really want more time. That's what this business can do. It can help you not only just make more money, but buy your time back, which is the most valuable resource that we have, is our time, right? Once your time passes by, you can never get it back. So Fast Start Training, remember, it's all about making your written list. Make sure you have your written list, an organic list, and make sure that you're giving these people, your friends, a call every single day. Well, not the same person every single day, but make sure you're calling somebody on a daily basis and following up with the people that have said yes to your business, that yes, they're going to take a look. Make sure that you keep the invitation very short and sweet, and you're inviting people to take a look at the business. And once they see the business presentation, keep it simple. Use the tools. Don't be the tool. If your tool is a home presentation, use a video. One-on-one presentation, same thing. Use the 8-minute video or a hotel meeting. Let the leaders answer the questions for you. Same thing goes with a website presentation. You never want to answer the questions yourself. Always have somebody that's ready and that's knowledgeable to help you answer the questions. And even if you are knowledgeable and you've been in the business a while and you know the answer, don't answer the question. Continue, bring them to somebody else that can answer the question, because you want to make sure that it's duplicatable. Because people are not going to do what you tell them to do. People will do what you do, not what you tell them to do. So if you do a 3-way call with them from the very beginning, introduce them to somebody, or a welcome call. Let's just say they say yes and they get started. Still do the 3-way call, but it's going to be a welcome call, and just let them know, hey, I want to introduce you to a top leader. And once you're introducing the leader to your new consultant, you make sure that you let him know he just got started right now. He's super excited. So now the 3-way call expert is going to know not to do the 3-way, but just rather a welcome call, and just welcome to the call, welcome him to the team, and just let him know that we're all here as a team to help each other out to be successful in this business. So in closing, remember 526. 5 stands for the personal customer points. You're getting started in the business. You have your 2 websites. If you live here in Texas, you need 2 customers to trigger your first bonus. If you live in the other markets, or if your customers are from the other markets, I should say, you're going to need 3 actual customers to trigger your first bonus. Let's go out and share the business, and let's invite 3 people to get started in your team, right? You might have to invite 10 people for 3 of them to say yes, but just keep at it and keep inviting your people, and then we're going to teach them to do the exact same thing. So anything you guys need, feel free to message me on Facebook. If you have my phone number, shoot me a text, give me a call. We're here to help each other out. And this business is all about people helping people. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this training. And thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.